So, My Hero Academia Vigilantes Manga Chapter 121 has officially released, and let's just say that in this chapter, we focus on the heroes that have arrived, doing what the heroes do best, with a special cameo from a character in Vigilantes that we haven't seen in a while, and I bet you couldn't guess who I'm talking about, but we'll see who it is. But first, right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to talk about the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, Manga Chapter 121, titled Reinforcements. And as the chapter name implies, this chapter is focusing on seeing the reinforcements coming to the aid of Koichi, where you get to see characters like Best Jeanist, Edgeshot, and Ingenium try and help and support him to the best of their abilities, as we saw them in the end of last chapter, including Aizawa. And when it comes to this chapter, it's pretty much just more setting up and building up for what's potentially to come. We see that the heroes are acting as heroes. We see that there's some cool banter between Koichi as well as Eraser, as well as we get some surprising reveals of certain characters coming back into the main story, and it's going to be surprising on who it is. I bet you'll never guess who I'm talking about, but we will get to that soon enough. So, let's start off the review with what happens at the beginning of this chapter. And like I said, the beginning of this chapter is primarily seeing the heroes that have come, specifically Best Jeanist, trying their best to evacuate the area. Best Jeanist is doing what he does best and is giving speeches to the people and telling them that reinforcements are on their way, that they requested help, and that everyone needs to get out of the area as soon as possible, and that even though he's heavily injured, that this is the warrior style of distressed denim. So yeah, he's pretty much telling people that they need to get out of this situation and they need to get to safety, as well as you have both Ingenium as well as Edgeshot doing the exact same thing, as we see that Ingenium is actually requesting some people from the Narita gang to help with the evacuation of the people in this area, since, you know, a giant kaiju monster is destroying the entire place. And as this is all happening, Koichi is still in the middle of the air, but luckily enough, Aizawa is there, also having binding on his arm to make sure that it's secure, as Aizawa tells Koichi that, yeah, I made sure that your limb is being braced. Oh, by the way, you remember how I told you that if you continue doing this, you'll continue to break bones? Yeah, you're really gutsy proving me right, aren't you? As Koichi's like, oh, so, you know, that's just fun interactions that we're going to see between Koichi and Aizawa, and we've seen those interactions a little bit more in this chapter. But from this moment on, their main goal at this moment is to try and lure the villain away, because they come to the conclusion that this villain is going after Koichi, so they're going to use him as bait and try to lure him to an area where he could potentially be easily taken care of by the other heroes that are coming to the rescue. And we have this very interesting line from Eraserhead as Koichi is questioning, like, hey Eraserhead, why can't you erase this guy's quirk? To his responses, oh, it's too bright, I can't really confirm his location. And yeah, that's kind of weird, but it does make sense. I mean, for the starters, he can't really see where number 6's body actually is, because, you know, giant kaiju, his actual body is like in the skull, and it's going to be very far away for him to actually see and pinpoint it, and there's no guarantee that he could actually be able to see it through the light. But also, have you ever tried staring at a light for a long periods of time? Like, yeah, it messes with your eyesight, so that's also another possibility. But while we have some cool banter between Koichi as well as Aizawa, we get the weird cameo in this chapter where we see that Present Mike, that's actually not the weird cameo, is on his way to help his friend Shota Aizawa on the back of Mr. Blaster, aka Sensoji. What? Do you not remember Sensoji? Everyone knows Sensoji. You know, that guy, he has the blaster-like quirk that is weirdly enough similar to Aoyama's lasers. You know, that guy who bullied Aizawa in high school when they were at UA. Oh yeah, man, it's so happy that he's back. I'm gonna be honest, it's cool that he's here, but he really doesn't do anything for the chapter. He's only there for transportation, as you have Present Mike that's saying, like, yeah, let's go, as this guy, Mr. Blaster, is like, dude, shut up, you're lucky I'm giving you a ride. So yeah, With the next few pages, we see that number 6 is attacking Koichi, as we see that Aizawa is able to swing him around like he's a little like weapon, like a ball and chain, as Koichi is firing off his shooting go blams at number 6, but something not so great happens. We see that individuals who know who the crawler is, or they know him by the curler, are supporting him, that they are cheering him on as he's fighting this kaiju. And this is very not good because they are in the area where the fighting is occurring, which means that they could be caught up in the blast. And it's not just one or two people. We have a literal double page spread of people cheering on Koichi as he is fighting against this kaiju monster. And these are some characters that we've seen throughout the entire story. They're supporting him, and this is very cool that people are showing their support for Koichi. But something that Eraserhead Aizawa points out is that, yeah, you're a very popular guy, and that is not a good thing because it means that the evacuation is going slower, and potentially it is irritating and agitating the villain in front of us. So this is something that's commonplace in My Hero Academia, with a world that is filled with heroes and with like a character like All Might that exists, where people will stay in dangerous situations if it means that they get to see a particular hero fight. That's just how the world has worked in My Hero Academia. We've seen it more recently in the more recent chapters, but yeah, this is just something that is commonplace, and it makes sense that these are how the characters will react. These are how the civilians will react seeing this giant monster fighting. And unfortunately, it puts a sour taste in number 6's mouth as he sees that everyone is supporting Koichi, as we cut over to him being like the little kid and the symbolism of it, and how they're supporting Koichi and wanting to play with Koichi and not him. And we have to remember that what number 6 always wanted to do is to be a hero, to be popular, and unfortunately, he hates Koichi because he's everything that number 6 isn't. And it causes his body to begin to explode even more, and to the point where he shoots out these big old balls of the fire and the plasma, as they believe that they're going to go and destroy the entire buildings. But then these balls just turn into miniature versions of number 6 and start blowing up the buildings, putting people in danger. And as we see Mr. Blaster coming with Yamada, coming with Present Mike, and he comes to a realization that, oh, I am not equipped to fight off multiple people at once. I don't know what to do. But luckily enough, Endeavor just comes and is about to save the day. Woohoo, yay. So yeah, that's pretty much what the chapter is. For the most part, this was a decent chapter for My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Nothing really special about it, unfortunately. We do get to see a lot more like cameos and references in this chapter. Some characters that we've seen throughout the story, either via the civilians or through the heroes themselves. And we just get to see the heroes doing what the heroes do, trying to help and save people, as we have the civilians being the civilians and watching an amazing fight until they eventually get involved with it, where they decide to leave. So yeah, nothing really spectacular happens, and most likely what's going to happen in the next chapter is that Endeavor's gonna do what Endeavor does, be the pro hero that he is, and completely and utterly like eradicate like the flying number 6 bombs that are going everywhere, and eventually will attack number 6, or he may attack Koichi the Crawler. We don't know. Endeavor hasn't gone through his character development yet, so he'll probably do something that will be mean and probably kill someone. So, you know, that's just what this Endeavor does. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, what did you think of the chapter? Did you like the fact that we got to see all of the heroes do their stuff, or are you just waiting for the inevitability of the heroes defeating number 6? I'm kind of in the middle. I enjoy these chapters for what they are, which is just a fun like interaction, seeing these characters just being heroes without a world-ending catastrophe. But also, I'm really looking forward to when number 6 just goes down, because I just want him to go down. So yeah, leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more reviews and discussions about My Hero Academia and My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!